News at 4. I'm Anna Laurel.
Great to have you with us. I'm Ginger Jeffries.
The heart of San Diego's historic Balboa Park and all parking lots will reopen this Friday. It's been closed for 3 months now. KUSI's Dan Plant is live from the central mesa of the park. And Dan, what is going on there behind you? All that dirt. Exactly what's going to be open and what's behind you?
Well, I'll tell you what's going on. First of all, good evening. Yes, we're in Balboa Park, and let me just show you. This is weird because we're like the only people here. There's a handful of folks who are working here and getting ready to reopen from the different museums and stuff. But as you can see, this is a major construction zone going on outside of what is going to be the Comic-Con Museum, what is the old gymnasium, which was the Ford building, I believe, and of course the Air and Space Museum and the Starlight. So this is all going to be changed. Remember, we talked about this last year. Big battle going on out here at Balboa Park, whether to keep the parking out here or whether to create sort of an outdoor space for people to hang out. Well, the outdoor space and hanging out won, and that's what's happening. So all this used to be parking, and it is going to be basically, you know, plaza space with planters and all kinds of things like that. But out there, what you're looking at right now, that still will be parking, but handicapped only is what I understand it. Disabled parking only. So things are changing out here for sure, starting right now. I mean, as soon as we come back into the park. And the other thing is I thought that the park was open for people to walk around, but apparently it's not even open for people to walk around right now. So kind of a weird time to be out here. But we'll talk a little bit more about the Comic-Con Museum coming up in a minute. But earlier today, the Air and Space Museum, they will be the first to open out here, the first major museum to open, and that will be Friday. And we had a chance to catch up with the president, and the very enthusiastic president of the Air and Space Museum, former fighter pilot Jim Kidrick. That's right, he was a fighter pilot, Top Gun, I believe, and he is stoked to get people back. Listen to Jim.
Well, you can see I got a big smile, and that's because we're going to open at 10 o'clock, and, we're bringing back people to the park, people to the San Diego Air and Space Museum, but it's really because of the great culture and team that we have here. We've been ready for literally weeks, and I'm going to tell you months, because we started this planning process when we closed, because we knew we were going to reopen. So our team is energized, they're excited, they want to open because of what we offer to our community. We're an educational resource, and you know, when the kids are out of school, why would you not want to have an educational resource be open, abiding by all of those protocols that are so important during this unique time in our history?
Yeah, a unique time in our history for sure, and they've done all the things, of course, they need to do for social distancing. They've actually moved around their exhibits so they're not as close as they used to be, creating more space. It's going to be a one-way deal. You're going to have to wear masks when you go in. You're actually going to have a stylus, so you don't actually have to touch anything with your fingers. They'll give you a stylus that you can actually touch, because there's a lot of little different things in there that you can touch and learn. So they've really, really thought this out, and quite honestly, Jim said that the day they closed, they started making plans to open, so they definitely are ready to open those doors and get people back. And by the way, the #2 Air and Space Museum in the country, second only to the Smithsonian in Washington, D.C., and that is an amazing statement in itself. Balboa Park is truly, truly incredible. So to the right here is another building, and this is the Automotive Museum, and I just actually ran into the architect and one of the guys who's doing some construction. They are redoing this as well, and this is going to have a nice new shiny coat of paint. And are you the director of this museum? What's up?
Yeah, I'm the executive director. My name's Lenny. And like you said, we're getting a facelift here. We're working with the Committee of 100, and they're going to put 4 beautiful murals back from the 1935 era. We're going to be getting some nice deco art on the top. They're going to put the bears back. Oh. So it's really awesome. We also are hoping to keep up with everything that's happening out here, transforming the inside to have a better guest experience for everybody. And we're excited because we'll be opening June 19th, a week after the Air and Space Museum, the San Diego Museum will get going.
How do you feel about all this? You look like you're smiling.
Oh, I'm excited to get everybody back. You know, it's been empty without everybody, missing everybody, and can't wait to have members and San Diegans and visitors just coming back with all the new things going on.
It's going to be amazing. What do you make of this out here? I know that there was a bit of a battle, and there was a battle line drawn. Some people didn't want to take out the parking. Some people did. Apparently the people, you know, the anti-parking folks won. And, you know, I mean, it's going to be kind of cool, right?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a benefit for Balboa Park. You know, we did lose the parking. It was great having front spots, prime spots for our guests. But I think this is going to be a great way to activate Balboa Park, this end of the park. We still are going to have parking here. As you can see on the back side here, there will be parking, and there will be handicapped parking, but also regular parking as well.
So, final thing, Comic-Con Museum, that's going to sort of change everything out here. They're going to be the 600-pound gorilla or whatever instantly when they move in. What do you make of that? And will there be enough parking and room for that?
Yeah, parking is going to be an issue that, you know, just going to have to get around that one. But with everybody coming in here, they're going to be a great person to activate this space and a lot of activity. I think the three of us working together, also with the Starlight Museum, the four of us, can really make great programming out here.
Oh, man. Well, everything is in place, that is for sure. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. And he just happened to be wandering by the way, and said, hey, you want to chat? And I said, absolutely. So thank you so much. We do appreciate that. And once again, this area was parking. The last time we saw it, it was parking. Before the coronavirus lockdown, this was parking. And during the lockdown, this all happened. So this is going to be interesting out here. I understand they're going to start paving starting next week while the park is open. That's going to create an interesting situation. But you know what they say, progress is never easy. Anyways, Comic-Con Museum, that's going to be exciting. Of course, Starlight, they are planning on reopening over at the Starlight and creating a new season when they can. So this really is an exciting little cul-de-sac over here for sure. And by the way, all of this left over from 1935 during the California exposition that they had out here. 1935. All these buildings are left over. So yes, they could use a little touch up, a little a little redo, just like all of us who, you know, if you're around since 1935, you need a little, you know, a little tuck. Anyway, that's what's going on out here. But it is lonely, I'll tell you that. There's not many people except the guys that are working. It'll be nice to get people back.
You're used to being out at the beach where lots of people are headed now these days, Dan Plant. You are a great San Diego tour guide, so we appreciate that. And I know a lot of people are excited for just a new place to go and walk, if nothing else. So thanks for that. Out at Balboa Park for us. And just like you heard, one of Balboa Park's historic museums is getting a major makeover. The San Diego Automotive Museum building was built over 80 years ago and is right now in the early stages of its restoration project. The project will include adding a well-needed fresh coat of paint, along with some new artistic additions, those murals he was just talking about.
We want to bring back the beautiful decoration that was on the building, temporary sort of Hollywood set materials. And the centerpiece of that are four beautiful 18-foot murals, which we are going to put back up on the front of the building and add ornamentation. And in fact, two special things were two bears on the roof of the building, California grizzly bear statues.
The museum will reopen to the public June 19th. During its restoration, it'll still be going on, but don't worry. The project is expected to be done by the end of the year. And San Diego